So, let's see now. Caught me unawares there. Well, we've been picking quite a bit, and you can see there that hunk right there, that's a big divot. And all of this stuff now is shedding really good, and I'm trying to help it get rid of the side nails. I'm picking up on the side nails and trying to relieve them so that the cuticles can collapse. But right there, that just rolled out. And you can see, look, see there? And so I'll take the forceps and just pull that out. And you can see that line across. You see how that it slopes there? The cuticle skin goes across at a sharp angle. That's where it grabs. And on that other finger that I showed in a previous video, that actually digs a groove in the nail. But it flattened out that corner, and that line runs straight over to the other side. Sometimes if they grab from both sides and meet in the middle, and there are two flat angles that run up and meet at the apex in the center of the nail, then you'll get the nail material squeezes out with a peak, and it'll look like one of those little tiny turtles that has a peaked shell in back. See what we got there. See this nail, and you can see there's 5/16 or more of buildup all the way around. You can see that collar clearly. All of that has to come off. All of that in front is dead skin. All of that behind the nail is dead skin, and there's just as much on each side, but a lot of it is under the side nails. So this thumbnail is going to get a lot thinner when those side nails come off. And when that front horseshoe-shaped applique nail, when it comes off and all of this stuff is dug out from the sides, then hopefully this new nail material that's trying to force its way out will be able to come out unobstructed, and we may actually have a chance at new nails. But there's so much dead skin still built up on the front of my fingers and around on the sides that the nails are still pretty much totally embalmed. And all of that dead skin will have to be excavated before we'll really make any real progress, because it's still capturing all the nails, even though new nail material is now trying to come out. So this is getting really interesting because it's changing every day. It's changing really dramatically, and we're starting to see progress. And I'm going to call this curing psoriasis of the nails with an X-Acto knife, because that's what I'm doing. It's just a matter, and what's really interesting is this has taken me forever, but when somebody who knows what they're doing gets a hold of this and figures out what's going on, they'll figure out they'll figure out a shortcut. You know, they'll find a faster way to get rid of this dead skin, and it may help a lot of people. That's what I'm hoping. You know, I have not gotten any comments at all, and I don't know if anybody even finds this more than just mildly interesting. You know, I'm not doing this for like a voyeuristic kind of or masochistic kind of display. This is supposed to actually be informational and help people. So if it's not anything to you, please let me know, because I'll be happy to stop. I don't need to do this. It's not for me. It's for you. And so if it's not useful, if it's just idle curiosity, it's what's getting the views. I really don't need to be wasting my time with this. I know what's going on now, and I can fix my own problem without any input from anybody. But if these videos are helping somebody, I would appreciate hearing about it, because I've gotten not one comment on anything, but I've gotten hundreds of views. So I don't know if this is actually helping anybody or not, or if they're just have too much time on their hands and you're just looking at pictures of fingernails. You got get a dog, you know what I mean? You can do something else with that time. But right here, you can see this is side nail. You can see where that's splitting away. I'm not talking about the red part on the outside. I'm talking about that nail flake on the left. You can see where it's separating, and you can see the smaller nail, and there's stuff stuck to the front of it too, all the way around. I said when this front peels off, and that's impacted skin right there. You can see a little bit in the front where it's pinker. I'll put that X-Acto knife right there, and I'll be able to pick that out all the way back to the back. And then you see the line separating. You can start to see that line now. It's still buried all the way up to there, but there's a line emerging right there. It'll pick out on that line, and then the next one will be lower and lower. Half the skin on the front of my fingers and around on the sides is going to have to come off for the right profile of the nail to be restored. And you can see how that's sloped on one side, down on one side and up on the other. Right there on this next finger, on this one. Right. And this has got that. Let's see if I can pull this up a tad. Right. See that? See where it's split? Right there. And so you'll see that smaller nail that's got other stuff laminated over it and in front. And that side piece over there, the one that's starting to come loose, that's a fragment. The reason it hadn't come out is it's buried down in the skin, but it was part of the top overnail, like the wax coat or lacquer coat nail that came out and covered all that garbage. But the main part of it, the top part, has already eroded off, and now the part down on the side is still stuck down in the skin. So it'll be fairly painful. And you can start to see the separation back behind. This nail has started to move out a little bit, and you can see where it's broken loose. And that's where the cuticle has grabbed, and the other nail is higher than that area and back. And that's just where the cuticle locked down, and it's making that groove. And the nail continues to swell up and build up in front of it. Same thing here, a little bit of that side nail has come off. This is still standing up, it's still flat, and you can still see here on this side, right, that it's leaking out. Come on now, focus for me. It doesn't want to focus, but it's leaking out. The side nail is still there on the right, on the little finger. And it's very thick, and it's hard to pare that off without cutting yourself. So, and all of these have really wide pink collars around. You can see it. And on that, when I do that, you should be able to see the difference in the cuticle line. That white scrum up there where the skin is dead, inside of that, that's all cuticle. And when the skin, if a piece of skin would take off there from the top and run back, it would get right to that white area up here. And that's where it would start to bleed, because that's where it passes out of dead cuticle and into living tissue. That is the actual first cuticle line way back there. So there's at least 1/4 of an inch or 5/16 of an inch of cuticle, dead cuticle built up all the way around in concentric circles on each and every one of these fingers. And all of it has to come off, and the level has to drop by half on there. See, this is still completely embalmed in skin, the whole nail, right, for all intents and purposes. But it's all dead, and it's all going to come out down to here. And all of that has to happen before I can get new nails. This is true on every single finger. They're all still flat, right? And the shape has not been restored. And anytime you see that where the shape is irregular on top, it's not smooth, it's not an arc or an arch all the way around, but it's truncated right here, it's cut off on the corner, and it comes straight across. This is just where the cuticle has built up and up and up and finally overlapped the nail and come around and locked it down. And where it happened on the other side, which I made a video last week, you can see this one. Let's try pitching it up again. This doesn't want to focus. Why doesn't it want to focus? So there, that's the same thing. That straight line across there is actually where the cuticle was. And so the shape around at the top is restored now because the cuticle, enough of the cuticle, dead cuticle material has been pulled out for it to spring back and take its right shape. And it's sitting on top of either the nail bed or new nail material that's coming out underneath. This nail has actually moved out a fraction. And around here on the side, a lot of it has gone away. But you can see the separation there between the new nail material and the bottom piece there looks like a little thumbnail piece that's stuck in, wedged in underneath there. I don't know if that's cuticle or if that's cover nail, but it's fragmentary. And all of this, and this right here, this right here on the front, this is separate. See, this is separate, and this is separate down here on the side underneath. And then there's this, which is coming out now, moving out. And so all of this stuff in the front wants to peel off, and then you'll see that's actually a separate nail back there. And this side piece over here has to come off. And these nails are going to want to come back parallel, and they're going to be much thinner. Same thing is happening here. The side nails are coming off a little bit. It's still almost completely buried in skin. You have a wide collar of cuticle, dead cuticle skin all the way around on every single one of these nails. This nail is pointed like that now because I've only been able to take it off on the sides at the front, and I haven't been able to get under it enough at the back to take the wings off on the left and the right. But when those side nails come off, they'll come off and they'll be square. The two sides of the nail will be much thinner and it'll be parallel. Same thing here. This is still too wide. The side nails are still on. And here, you can see how flattened out that is. And this over nail, when that comes off and the side nails come off, this thumbnail is going to be much thinner. And you can see all of that. That red collar is all dead skin, all of it. And so 5/16 of an inch of skin is going to have to come off all the way around. And the front of the nail is going to recede to wherever the nail bed actually is. And when all of that dead skin comes off the back, at the back of the nail, that's where the nail will start. It'll start all the way back here, where that red part ends, and the dead skin. And you can see the brown skin, the top coat of skin, is all dead skin also, but it's just the surface layer. And underneath the skin, there's still all that dead accumulation of like chicken fat underneath there, pockets. And where I showed you, I think it was maybe this same thumb, there was a dent in this thumb last week right there. When I rolled it over, you could see it. But and that crease there was very deep. And when I twisted my finger all the way around, there was another crease on the other side. And those white lumps under there, this is what's going on. This is re-inflated since last week. Last week I could punch on one side of that and put a dent in it, and the dent would stay. It would not re-inflate. But now it's all packed full of dead skin material again. And those white lumps underneath the skin give it away. That's all dead cell material under the skin, and it's coming down now because some material is actually moving out. Those creases were all really dramatically deeper just, I think, yesterday, whenever I made that other video. So this is, and I could feel the difference when I pressed on it. I could feel this, this is all crusty here. This is much a different texture. It's very much dead, and I can feel it. And you can see right there when I rolled it, that's a bump. It's just a bump of dead. See, it's swollen up. It's a bump of dead material. And it's all going to come off. But underneath the skin, there's a stash of dead cell material that has been plugged up in my fingers for years and years and years. And now the surplus which is in my hands or my wrists or my arms or wherever it's hiding. It's coming down. As soon as any room is made from having some of this stuff travel off, make new cell, make new nail, and move out a little bit, it creates a void that then gets filled up with nail material, new nail material. So that's the same thing there. The side nails have to come off. The side nails have to come off. You can see how brutal it is. But that's all dead skin. And this is exactly what needs to happen. All of it, that has to go away. And this is what's going on with everybody. Anybody who has psoriasis of the nail is actually just dealing with the fact that you've got all this dead skin. The nail is embalmed. It can't move out, and until you free it, you're not going to have new nails. I mean, you're just not going to fix the problem. And it's really something to watch it, because eventually it is going to work itself out. All of these surplus nails are going to, all of this overburden is going to go away. All of the dead skin is going to go away. And then we'll finally see some progress. It's going to resolve. It's hard to believe, but let's look at that. That has actually moved out since yesterday or the day before. I haven't chipped anything out of there. That groove around the top is wider, and you can see more down inside there, just because this has moved out away from the cuticle, which is now a different shape also. So this is all good. This is what we need to see happening. It's hard to believe, but it's real major progress, and it's every day now. Radically different. There we are. Radically different every day. This front nail now has broken. You can see the shape of it is in the dead cuticle skin up there. That's where the nail was up until yesterday. But that little front piece is flaked off, and now it's made it a more regular shape all the way around. But that whole horseshoe nail is just an applique also. So this is going to be really good, when it finally resolves. And that is just going to pull out. That's no problem now. Look at that. See? Whoop. And when it's already started to dry up. And just a minute ago, basically, it was mashed down in there like that. And it looked solid. It looked like it could be nail or anything. But I picked at it from underneath, and I lifted up on it, and finally it just rolled out all in a piece. That side splinter is going to come off, and all of that crud on top is going to erode away. So you've got two choices, You can either carve this stuff off and get new nails, or you can keep the nails you've got that are embedded in skin and watch them erode eventually away like that nail is eroding away, because they won't last forever. You can keep piling up new dead nails on top of damage like this, and keep letting the dead skin pile up and trying to shape it with your little wooden stick, and keep it looking reasonably nice. But all of this damage is going to be underneath there. And so if you want to fix it, you've got to take all of this dead skin and all of this nail off. And if you don't do that, eventually your nails are not going to be able to get any new material to replenish the nail. And when you can't make new clean top nails, cover nails, to cover the damage, and they start to erode away, it will reveal all this damage, and that's what they call psoriasis of the nail. It's when your nails start to erode away, and that's it. You can either fix the problem, or you can hope it just stays cosmetically within range, or you're going to watch your nails erode like this, like those guys that have their feet sticking out of those big hobble boots that they wear, where they got their bare feet and toes sticking out, and their toes all look like this. This is just where they haven't gotten any new nail material. The nail has been embalmed for so long that it has just started to disintegrate. So those are your choices, you know. You can either fix it, you can ignore it, or you can start to watch your nails just completely disintegrate and delaminate like this. This still has a top nail on it that looks, if I hadn't picked at it and all, it would look fairly decent, except it would be clipped across the corner like that. And when I finally free it, I'll know, because it'll move out just a 1/16 of an inch or something, and I'll be able to see it just like I can see that. This has got the line going across. Or that, you know, that top right corner is clipped because that's where the cuticle built up and up and up and overrode the nail and then clipped that corner. And it will hold the nail down there and flatten it out, and that's why sometimes you can actually lay a blade on there and it'll lay absolutely flat, where it's supposed to be cylindrical. You're going to have to pick it up and run with it, you know. This stuff's not going to fix itself. So there you go. That's today. And we'll see you next time.